The BVI Mutual Legal Assistant Tax Matters Amendment Act 2012, brought to the House by Premier and Minister of Finance Dr. D. Yolanda Smith, was passed without amendments on May 14 during the 9th sitting of the House of Assembly. The amendment brings the BVI financial industry's legal, regulatory, and international cooperation framework in line with international standards. The BVI Mutual Legal Assistance Tax Matters Amendment Act 2012 establishes that it is mandatory for all BVI companies to keep reliable accounting records. These should include sufficient information to explain the company's transactions and determine the financial position of the company with reasonable accuracy. The Amendment Act also specifies that accounting records shall be kept for a minimum of 5 years from the date of transactions. Premier Smith said it was realized that the Virgin Islands had a different interpretation to that of the treaty partners with respect to some clauses under the Tax Information Exchange Agreements, the TIEAs, and it is now clear that the TIEAs require a retroactive sharing of information on criminal tax matters.
As such, exchange of information is affected by this divergence of interpretation and stands to affect the Virgin Islands in their Phase 2 peer review. The proposed amendment by Clause 2 therefore introduces an amendment to the Act which will accommodate the exchange of information on criminal tax matters in respect of taxable periods before the entry into force of the tier. Additionally, it has been noted that there are certain provisions in the Act where an offense has been created but no penalty is provided. In particular, the last amendment of the Act requiring companies to keep and maintain accounting records and the underlying documents lacked a corresponding enforcement provision. In this regard, by Clause 3, a general penalty section has been drafted to provide a penalty for any offense previously created without a specific corresponding penalty.
Deputy Premier Kedrick Pickering says there had been a difference of opinion in the interpretation of the 2012 Act between BVI officials and other international partners, and the amendment brings the BVI in line with established standards.
We have an industry that has been built on a solid foundation. It is a part of the wider context of the world's financial system. We play by the rules and we do our best to continually ensure that we provide a product that can be used for legitimate business transaction to facilitate the flow of capital and to ensure that the world can be what it ought to be. So here in this short bill, you know, is a weighty amendment that clearly demonstrate that we are willing to bring our legal, regulatory, and international cooperation framework in line with established international standards. And whenever the cheese move, we're going to find new cheese, because the BVI is a clean jurisdiction ready to do legitimate business.
Opposition member and 2nd District Representative Alvin Christopher commended the legal team at the Financial Services Commission for being vigilant in helping to keep the BVI in line with international standards, while Opposition Leader Ralph O'Neill noted efforts being led by the USA to clean up tax havens.
President Obama is going to lead the charge. Especially when they meet in Ireland about 5 weeks from now. And they were talking about cleaning up and to make sure these tax havens and so on get in line. Forgetting, it seems as if that both Delaware and in the United States and the city of London itself is very big finance centers. Madam Speaker, I join my voice in saying that we must work with hearts and hands together.
Who constantly, Madam Speaker, look at the international scene and setting and come up with a proposed legislation to bring before us that we can, as my honorable colleague just said, keep our jurisdiction clean. Because we're in business to stay in business, Madam Speaker. And to stay in the business on the international level, we must demonstrate to the world that we are here to operate a clean jurisdiction. And whatever we do, we are willing to defend it by the legislation that would meet international standards.
Members of the House of Assembly also stressed the importance of financial services to the local economy. Premier Smith disclosed that legislation governing the BVI financial services is currently being reviewed by international agencies, and so far, one such review has pointed to areas that require further strengthening.